Hi there. Welcome to the Call to Cinema's Sounds of Cinema. And that's a new series that I'm doing on here. You'll see this come up every once in a while. And definitely the first few of these are coming from a company that I definitely want to highlight, and you'll see why as I go through here. So for tonight, I chose their newest release, and I chose one of their earlier releases as well. Actually, not that much earlier, but a little bit earlier, because what I wanted to do was give like an idea of how much music can be important for a film, and for a specific film. One film that you probably would already think about when it comes to why music's important, and one maybe wouldn't be the first thing that would come to your mind, but we'll go through it. So the company is Howling Wolf Records. I will definitely link their information down below, because I'll be honest with you, the two releases that I'm going to show you tonight are two that, if you like movies, you like horror, you like slasher, I'm not going to say should be in your collection. I'm going to say it's a must for a collection. Now let's start off with the most recent release, and the one that I listened to like 3 or 4 times last night actually. And that one here is a score by Richard Einhorn, and this is The Prowler. Now, as you can see, they put a lot of work into these releases. The artwork is utterly fantastic. I want to show you, before we even go into the score itself, let me show you what it looks like on the inside. Let's get an idea of what exactly you'll get because each of these has their own booklets with them. So the same as when you get a collector's edition release. By the way, all of these here, they're all limited edition. So when these are gone, these are gone. I think that, I'm not sure what the limited edition number on Prowler is, maybe 200, 300, something like that. So it's a small amount, and I would 100% recommend checking it out. So here's the artwork on the back of it, and which is utterly fantastic. There is an incredibly amazing write-up on here, and I want to get the author's name right. So I apologize if I get the name wrong at all. It's by Ian Zapsinski, and he actually interviews Richard Einhorn as well. So we get to hear from Richard Einhorn, the one that scored it as well. This was mixed at Magno Studio. Executive producer on this album here was Wal Crumpler, who was pretty much the heart of definitely the heart of Howling Wolf Records, and just such a nice guy. If you've ever come across Wal, or if he ever does a convention, or if you ever see him at a convention or anywhere like that, 100% say hi, because he's super nice guy. Now this here has a great booklet on the inside. The reading is really fascinating too. So I was reading this as I was listening to the CD, and the CD is phenomenal. There are some tracks that I want to, like, obviously I can't play them on here, but if you go to the Howling Wolf Records website and you click on the link, there's usually a place to hear like a few seconds of some of the tracks. So all in all, we get the main score here from the film, 25 tracks in total, and they're from 26 to 35, so you get another few tracks of alternates and extras, and this is really good. And this is where a lot of really comes together, and what's so special about this for me. There's a score here for the couple actually in the film, Mark and Pam, and when we get to I think there's an alternate here down below, a stereo mix, a 1983 stereo mix for Mark and Pam. It runs 3 minutes and 11 seconds long. It's Bloody Brian, and it is such a great piece. Richard Einhorn had been a composer that had done quite a bit, and I think this was like he'd started doing a lot of electronic work with his releases, with his scores. Now with this one, he was going into, like, he was doing some classical music composing, and with the score, the Prowler, as that really shows, really comes across. There's definitely still some of the electronic mix of stuff you'd see, like, because he did the score for like Shockwaves, which I'll be reviewing on here down the road. Oh god, there's so many. There's a couple other films that I really want to talk about, but the guy, he's great, and he utilizes brass within his score, and it is brilliant. The stuff that he does, it is, and the really good thing about this is, it's unnerving. So even if you've never seen the Prowler before and you put this on, it's kind of dim the lights type of thing. Maybe reading a nice book, maybe a creepy little book, and the Prowler's playing in the background. It's got some beautiful, lovely music. It has got some like super horrific, like chilling music, and it's so well done. And it just gets to show you why Joseph Zito's film The Prowler needed this to really, like, because for me The Prowler is one of the penultimate slasher films of back in the day. When you're a connoisseur of films like this, especially of the slasher genre, there are certain things that are going to stick out. There's certain like things that you want to see. You'll have like the iconic look of the killer, which is very important. The directing. You want like to have some leads there that are going to be compelling. But most of all, and you just look at Halloween for this, for instance, you are going to need a score that is going to work, and it's going to unnerve when it needs to. It's going to lull you into safety when it needs to, and it's going to give like life and characterization to the people in the film. Because there's only so much that a director can do. There's only so much that an actor can do when you're bringing the characters and the script itself to life. A lot of what is done is dependent upon the music that is used, the score. Sometimes it can be more subtle. Other times it can be jarringly in your face. But either way, the score should really tell a story. And in horror, scare you when it needs to, comfort you when it needs to, whiplash you from one to another when it needs to, and also tell the characters. So when you hear for instance, when we get to hear the with Mark and Pam, I think the initial one is done with no flute, but I know there's one that's done with kind of like a pan flute style to it, which is actually really good. So I remember I like Black Angels. That was a really nice track, around 57 seconds long. Really like Pam Stocked at runs a minute and 1 second. You get down to stuff like How's That Grab You is really good. Killer's Resurrection is great. Mark and Pam, the film mix is good. Mark and Pam is a really good like track. Trust me, this one, it'll stand out when you're listening to it. And what really stands out is just the how well this is done. Now, this was a film that was smart enough to realize that they needed to pick actors that would resonate with an audience. So they chose 2 soap actors, because soap opera actors are used to working at a way that'll resonate with the audience there, and they do a great job. But if you do not yet have the Prowler, if this has not yet become part of your library, it's needed. I would 110% recommend this. Howlin' Wolf Records does some great stuff. They do some eclectic scores, a lot of great like horror scores, a lot of great like different unique things, and every single one of them has a booklet in here. Now, when you get some directly from the company, there are certain times that if you get it at the right time, I think there's sometimes you'll have like autographed things hidden inside, and just such great work. Now, there's one other that I wanted to like quickly touch on, and I will do a more thorough review on it later on. But I thought that it fit well within the context of our first Sounds of Cinema video, and that is a 2-disc edition, the original soundtrack 35th anniversary edition of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, this is composed by Perry Botkin. It is a beast of a release. You get a total of 36 tracks on the first disc, which is the complete original score, and not just so. Basically, from track 1 to track 26, you're getting the film mixes, From track 27 to track 36, you're getting the 1980s original soundtrack mixes for there as well. Some of these are previously unreleased. Disc 2, original songs by Morgan Ames. And trust me, this is going to be very important to you. Also, when you open it up, it has, I'm going to get the booklet out without like hurting it here. CD booklets, you always got to be careful with them. It's just a brilliantly done booklet. I love the back of this. And this is so well. I mean, this is so. Look at just look at this. This is so well put together. Writing on this one here is you got notes from the co-executive producer Scott Shind. I'm going to get that wrong. I'm bad with names. I apologize. And Dennis Whitehead. Note from screenwriter Michael Hickey, which is actually pretty cool. Note from composer Perry Botkin. That's actually really good. And then it goes through like some different pictures, some art. It goes through like a bit of the letting you know exactly what's on each disc, from like the score on one to the songs on the other. There's a song, of course, that most people know, and you think about it when if you've ever seen Silent Night, Deadly Night, and something stuck into your head the way that it has with mine. There's a song in here called Santa's Watching, and if that doesn't like really like stick into your mind, it's like the whole like Santa's watching, Santa's waiting. I can't sing, so I can't do it, but it is such a cool little Christmas song and ominous at the same time. This is a 2-disc release, and it's done to look like a Christmas ball, and actually comes across pretty easily from here. There's the infamous Killer Santa that starts it all. Well, really, it's that mean like grandfather that starts it all. But this was the first thing that I listened to. And I actually went to the second disc first because I was kind of curious of how it was going to be. I knew the score of the Silent Night, Deadly Night. I actually knew it pretty well. It's a favorite film of mine, and it's a holiday perennial favorite. I like Christmas horror films. I'm morose and weird and strange that way. For me, it's the innocence of the holiday with the blackness of the sin and the murder that can make for a fascinating watch, whether it be Silent Night, Deadly Night, or Bloody Christmas or Black Christmas, 1974, my favorite movie of all time. And what brings this above, much like what brings Prowler above for being just your typical soundtrack release, aside from the fact that the audio work that's gone into this, the mixing, and just the overall like presentation itself is utterly incredible. It's crisp, clear sound, and it's what you want to hear when you're listening to a soundtrack. It's the extra effort that's put in. It's the big booklets with tons of information and pictures that you want to see. It's the extra mixes that are in there for things like the Prowler, those alternates and those edits, those incredibly well done, amazingly put together pieces of cinema. And sometimes it's just fantastic to just listen to something and let your mind just, if it's a film that you're really fond of, to remember and to just like let it sink in. Other times it's just fantastic to get there and be like, you know what, I just want to listen to a good score. And sometimes it's even better if you don't know the film itself and you just let it sink into you, and your imagination can do whatever when it comes to the score of the film. But the thing that stands out to me, for instance, you get basically what amounts to a slightly sinister but actually pretty good Christmas album on the second CD of this one right here. The music by Morgan Ames is really, really good. The songs are solid. They actually work as Christmas songs and songs on their own. They don't have to be tied in. You don't have to be tied into the movie to appreciate them. In fact, if you were to around Christmas time to put on the second CD of this of Silent Night Deadly Night without telling anybody what it was. They could most possibly mistake it for a regular Christmas CD and like, oh, I haven't heard these songs before. We're off to a good start at the Sound of Cinema. Two amazing Howling Wolf record releases. Silent Night Deadly Night, the 35th anniversary edition release. The Prowler, their latest release, with Richard Einhorn. We'll have more Richard Einhorn. I cannot wait to listen to more Richard Einhorn, actually, because Shockwaves is one of the ones that's coming up, and I utterly, brilliantly love that film. And it's been a while since I've heard the score to it, so that's going to be quite the listen, and quite the enjoyment, because I really truly enjoy. Sometimes I just like to sit back, and if I'm working on something, if I'm doing some writing, I'm doing some editing, or sometimes just lying back on my bed, and I'm just like, I just need to relax, and I'll put on something like this. And last night, The Prowler was just what I needed. I didn't know it was what I needed before I went to lie down and relax. I was actually getting ready to do a review, and before I to tape, like to basically to watch a film for review. But I needed to kind of clear my head. I needed to like just have something unique and different, and something that was really going to kind of sweep over me. And Prowler really did that. This is a great jumping on point for Howling Wolf Records. If you're a slasher fan, there's no reason at all to not have this in your collection. You actually really should. And I would double up and get the Silent Deadly Night 35th anniversary 2-disc edition as well. These aren't just regular scores. They're extremely well done. The work that's put into this is incredible. From the art that they choose to the fact that you have these here like little like messages, things from the film, like taglines. He knows when you've been naughty, like right there on the inside. Just little touches that just add that little bit of like just a little extra bit, and it comes out bloody brightly, and in my opinion. And I will go back to the Prowler is not one of those where, okay, I've listened to it, I've reviewed it. No, it's something I'm going to go back to again. I really do like and again, for me, like Rosemary's Murder is really good. Ham Stocks is good. Low Tunes and High C is great. I love Strings. It's only 14 seconds long, but it creeps the hell out of me. But Mark and Pam, the 1983 stereo mix, stood out on here. When it comes to Silent Night Deadly Night, the intro of Santa's Washing definitely stands out as as kind of a creepy kind of not cheesy, kind of a creepy kind of eerie type of thing. We got like Billy's Losing It, which is actually really cool. Punish, 20 seconds long. You get down to things like, but the brilliant thing with like Silent Night Deadly Night, it truly is that like as fantastic as the score is, and it is a great score, that second disc is not to be missed. And alongside that, the booklets are extremely well put together, extremely well written. They choose well when they decide on the artwork that they're choosing for these here releases as well, and the art that's used on the inside. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the very first episode of Sounds of Cinema, and hopefully you'll get to see lots more on here. Please do check out Howling Wolf Records, because it's amazing to know that there's somebody that's putting this kind of work into these films with such love, care, and precision. I am Aaron. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you next time in the Call to Cinema.